All right, everybody, welcome back. We want to get you up to date with the latest on WSAV.com. Digital reporter Shawn Watkins is here to give us a rundown. All right, hello, Shawn.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing really well. So I'm curious about what you're working on. We talked about it a little bit, but I don't know the details. So what are you working on today?
Yes. So today I am working on a story about witches in the mystic community here in Savannah. When most people think of witches, they think of Harry Potter, Hocus Pocus, but here in Savannah, we have people who practice hoodoo, which is different from voodoo, paganism, Astro, who worship the Norse gods, and many other nature-centered beliefs. And what I found interesting about it was that they really don't believe in good and evil, but more so in energy and the universe and finding inner peace. So I spoke to Karen Loop, who is the owner of Cosmic Corner and who practices Shiva and Mantra Yoga, about some misconceptions held by the public.
And the brewing of potions, the lighting of candles, the ritual work that we do, because we do that work, that is about symbolizing the internal work externally. So in actuality, you don't need any tools to do the craft, to do the work. The tools are extraneous, but the tools make it easier.
Ooh. So what do you think was the biggest misconception that was cleared up about witches and witches in Savannah as you were doing this story?
Yeah, and just to clarify, it is Karma, not Karen.
Karen, that's all right.
But one of the misconceptions that I found that was very interesting was that a lot of people think that witches do a lot of curses or hexes, but it really is, like they said, it's more like showing externally what you want to happen internally. And versus the good and evil, we'll always think that good and evil, we've grown up with that, especially with different religions. But
it's more about energy for them.
It's
more
about energy.
What I found interesting when you were listing off all of the nature-based ways that they practice, because last week when I teased this for everybody a little bit, I said Wiccan. But it's not all Wiccan. Not all witches identify with that.
It's a plethora of community. It's a big community within itself. There's many different sects and many different people who think of different things, but at the same time, they work together and they share their knowledge and they come together when they do. They do have 2 festivals coming up sooner this year, and so those should be interesting.
Okay, we're going to move on to trending. What's trending on the website? Oh, no, we're going to move on to that. But I want to ask you real quick, how did you find this story?
This story, I always loved Harry Potter and loved like magic and stuff. So I was just like, well, Savannah's the most haunted city in America. I'm sure there's witches.
Where are the witches?
Yes. Where are the witches?
Okay, all right. So you went and found some witches. All right, let's talk about what's trending on WSAV.com today.
Yes. So what is trending is the SFD response to that large structure that caught on fire on Montgomery Street. Then we also have the legendary local coach who is honored with a street name. So in front of Beach High School, it's going to be called Coach Ronald Booker Way.
And everybody knows who he is. Like you said, legendary.
Yes, it's so cool. I wish I had a street name.
I know, right? Become legendary, Shawn, and then you can do that.
Of course, the witches of Savannah, the soldiers who are concerned over the conditions at Fort Stewart Barracks, which I thought was very interesting. You know, it's why are their barracks so, disorderly?
Right.
And then the top story is the Fabulous Four that is filming in Savannah.
Oh, with Susan Sarandon?
Yes, with Susan Sarandon. We have Bette Midler, Megan Mullany, and Sissy Spacek?
Yes. Oh, the divine Miss M. And Sissy Spacek.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to try and make my way to that set. I don't know how, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go stalk them. I'm kidding. I'm not going to go down there. All right, Shawn, as always, it's good to have you. Come tell us what's trending on the website and talk about the stories, the coolest stories that you're working on. Love that jacket, by the way.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.